It's my money again. Again, my
Hard
money
earned cash.
is going into
It's going to New Jersey.
the brains, the football fantasy brains of two mad scientists. The undefeated under-21 sports podcast champion, Rowdy Riley Aruda.
What up?
And the Birdman.
Ready for another week to do battle with FanDuel, Daily Fantasy.
All right, Bird, so give me that.
All right, so
who's your quarterback, Bird?
So we've discussed the format before, and we're going to start off with the choices that I made this week. I'm going with a hot hand, which is Joe Burrow, who has been real hot the last few weeks.
Love it.
Start off with him. I also stacked him with, as we've discussed in the past, a stack, which is a receiver that you'll get double points on. T. Higgins is one of his receivers.
Love that pick.
So I took Higgins for the Bengals also. And they're going up against the Jets this week, so hopefully he'll be able to put up some numbers again. Running backs, what is it, Darnell Henderson of the Rams?
Darrell Henderson, yep.
You try to get mismatches, and Houston right now, I believe, is the worst team in the NFL, so hopefully he'll have a decent game against them. What's this other guy's name, Riley?
Kenneth Gainwell.
Kenny Gainwell of the Philadelphia Eagles. The reason why I took him was I saw his name being mentioned quite a bit as a lower-priced option on the NFL Network as a sit or start, and they had him started. So
yeah, because Miles Sanders just got hurt, so he's the starter right now.
Yes, that's correct. That's another reason why. My other receiver is DJ Moore of Carolina, who's been a high point guy most of the year. Hopefully he can rack something up against another matchup against Atlanta, whose defense has been giving up a lot of points most of this year. So hopefully he'll be able to give me a good game and rack some points up. Then I went with Diggs.
Stephon Diggs. Absolutely love this pick, Brody. Love it.
Now, Diggs has been underperforming the last couple of weeks, but this is a guy that has immense talent and could break out and give you a monster
that game's going to be wide ass open. So.
Hey, tell him how much you paid for him.
He was a little bit less for, I believe, I don't know how the number.
7,300 right there.
Yeah, because
he's going to want to play well against the Cowboys. The world's watching.
No, he's actually got Miami this week at home. Buffalo, but he's had a couple of off weeks, and he could have a big game. He was higher priced earlier in the year. He's dropped a little bit.
7,300 is a steal.
Yeah,
steal.
So for that price, and Buffalo's coming off a bye week. They're at home this week. It could be a big game for them. Tight end, I went with Jared Cook of the L.A. Chargers, tight end. He's had a few up and down weeks, but he's always a big target. And then San Diego's Chargers are a throw team. They like to throw the ball around. And I also went with the Chargers, Keenan Allen as my receiver also. Justin Herbert passing the ball. I know the Patriots defense has been pretty good this year, but on the road, it's going to be a big test for them this week. So those are two guys that have been putting points up so far this year. So that's what I took. And then as for my defense, I grabbed the LA Rams. I had 5,000 left. They're playing against Houston this week. Davis Mills has been terrible all year. I look for the Rams to have a big game.
Hey, that's Mike's team. That's Mike's team.
Doesn't mean he won't be.
So what are you most confident about on your team?
Well, the Rams defense, number one against Houston.
Okay, fair enough.
I like Burrow coming in the way he's been real hot lately.
Yeah, I love Burrow.
And I think Henderson can have a big game running the ball against the Texans also. So that's my team, and we'll see what happens.
Rowdy Riley up next. Let's rock and roll, bro.
This is my team. So for this week, for the most expensive players, we had Derrick Henry at 10.5, McCaffrey at 10, Cooper Kupp at 9.2, who I have in there, Najee Harris at 9, Josh Allen at 8.8, Austin Eckler at 8.7, Jonathan Taylor at 8.6, and then Alvin Kamara at 8.4. Yep. So I started off with matchups as well, just like Birdie said. And the quarterback that stood out to me was Stafford against the Texans. Absolutely love that pick.
Yeah,
for 8,200, the most expensive quarterback, I thought probably should have been him, but it was Josh Allen at 8,800. I understand why. He has the rushing upside, all that. But I stacked Stafford just like you did with T. Higgins, with Cooper Kupp, who was the third most expensive guy in all of this. So that cost me a good chunk, and I had to start picking players
Mid-range.
that I didn't really like.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't really like, but guys that weren't going to be as good as you're. Like, I have better dudes, like a better guy than you, but you have better like depth than me. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you're saying.
So Cooper Kupp, hopefully he explodes. If he doesn't explode, my team won't go anywhere because of how much money I put into him. So I'm really banking on him. And then my running backs are Joe Mixon, who I absolutely love. He's one of my favorite players in the league. They're playing the Jets. I think if they get a big lead against him, which I'm hoping for, they just start handing the ball off to him and he starts getting touchdowns on the ground, maybe a screen pass to him.
Yep.
And then Zack Moss, same exact thing. He's a cheap running back for 6,100. Wasn't the 7,600 I had to play for Joe Mixon. And if they start winning against Miami, hopefully Zack Moss can get in the end zone, maybe one touchdown for him. They just start handing the ball off to him, and he just keeps getting touches at least. And then Jalen Waddle, same thing. They're going to be down, I think, a lot. He's been performing very, very well with Tua. And once they start throwing the ball, he's their number one target right now. So I would just absolutely love him, and I think he's going to be a fantastic receiver to come. For the price tag for 6,400,
absolutely.
Thought it was great.
Yep, no,
and then
absolutely.
Same thing with Marquez Callaway. I believe they're going to be down. Jameis Winston is going to be chucking the ball like crazy. He's the number one receiver right now in the Saints because Michael Thomas is not playing. 5,900, super cheap. I was like, you know what? Let me just throw him in there. He's the number one receiver on a team. Not going to find a number one receiver for 5,900 on a team like the Saints around, so grabbed him. And then Hunter Henry, I keep picking him because I like him. I think he's doing so good. If he stays healthy, he's been one of the Patriots' best players on offense. He's catching touchdowns consistently. And against the Chargers for 5,500, again, cheap option. Playing for the upside here. And if he catches that touchdown, they didn't grab a premium tight end, but if he catches those touchdowns,
it's a value play, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then Chuba Hubbard, again, starting running back for 6,600, not going to complain. He plays for the Panthers. He's CMC's backup. He's not going to be what McCaffrey is ever going to be. But a lot of people forget, in college, he was a very, very good back. And he actually stayed another year in college, which hurt his value in the draft. So he fell very, very far. But he was very good in college, and he's been doing pretty well for the Panthers. Not as well as McCaffrey, but for 6,600 as my flex play, just throw him in there. And then for my defense, I grabbed the Seahawks, which I didn't understand how the Seahawks were this low. I guess people are not on the Seahawks like I am. I just think the Seahawks are being undervalued a lot. They were 4,300, which Birdie grabbed a defense for 5,000, which was the most expensive. And the Seahawks are playing the Jaguars in Seattle. So I like that pick. I mean, I just don't think Jacksonville's going to score that many points.
You're going by your matchup. Is
Yeah,
what you're doing,
exactly.
So,
and I just don't think, like, if this was Jacksonville.
That's the smart way to go.
Yeah,
you got to play matchups.
If Jacksonville was playing Houston, I'm not taking Houston's defense, but Seattle doesn't have a fantastic defense.
But against Jacksonville at home,
cheap.
No, I see that you're thinking there. No, I go along the same line.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm liking the team. I just felt like I had to take Cooper Kupp and I had to take Stafford, which I don't really like. Not that I don't like Cooper Kupp. It's just it's so much money for 9,200. Like, he's almost the same amount as Derrick Henry. Like, so it's just tough.
Well,
like,
by not taking him or switching it, and then he goes off and has a big game, you're going to lose all that points. So even if he's going to be picked by a lot of,
he's on pace to have the best NFL fantasy season as a receiver of all time. So to leave him out, you're losing out, especially against the Texans, where I think they could blow it up.
Yeah,
but I do love your play of the Darrell Henderson because of that. If they go out early and they're like, all right, maybe we're not going to pour it on these guys. They think they're going to run the ball. Yeah. So those are both of our teams. I think we did pretty well this week.
We almost qualified last week. We had the right lineups. The quarterbacks killed us last week. Lamar Jackson had a horrible second half. Otherwise, you would have been in the money. And the thing that killed me last week was I had a real good lineup too, but when Arizona got ahead in the fourth quarter, Kyler Murray, they did not attempt one pass in the fourth quarter that I remember. All they did was run the ball. So you can even be on the right format of this, the way you're thinking, but when a team gets a lead and they decide to run the ball, there's a lot of things that can happen in these games that can go against you. So
I'm looking at your team again. I really like the depth of your team.
General manager,
really love the depth.
George Steinbrenner from the grave. I fully expect both of you guys.
But what you said earlier was really important. You made a very good point about the receiver from New Orleans. Now you're picking him. So now if Tampa does jump out to a lead in that game and they are going to start throwing the ball, that would play into their favor.
I need to get that, and it's going to be a division game, so it could be a close game. Either way, if it's a close game or they're getting blown out, they're going to have to throw it. And he was only 5,900. That's the problem with Kupp was. Taking a guy like Kupp, he just takes up so much. Like
lineup,
if you look at your team, right? You
balance.
took DJ Moore for 7,700, who I absolutely love, and against the Falcons, I love that play. That's almost it's 1,500 less than I took Kupp. That's 1,500 I could be putting into Marquez Callaway or Jalen Waddle. Like taking Cup is great. It's just handicaps me everywhere else.
You handcuff the rest of your lineup where you have to be limited by the budget that you have.
But I'm going to live and die by it. That's what I'm going to do this week. I have to live and die by not picking him, which I handicapped you this week by not. You couldn't take him, but
no. The only guys that I had picked earlier when I was just playing with it, there were only 2 guys that I switched up.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think Zack Moss could be another one where if he doesn't do great, that could hurt me because I really think that he could be pretty good. It just depends if it's going to be Zack Moss or if it's going to be Singletary because they split carries. I like Moss better. He's the younger back. I think he's going to do good.
The goal line guy.
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
More than
if he gets a touchdown, that's 6 points right there, and then keep getting touches.
Well,
so yeah, that's what we got for you guys this
take
week.
Another shot at it, live to fight another day, and that's the fantasy lineup.
Those are our fantasy lineups.
Everybody out there.
Good luck, everybody. We'll see you next week on Monday, same time, same place. Peace.